30-06 John here, and today what I want to talk about is the 10mm for bear defense. Over the last several years, there's been a lot of uses of the 10mm against bear charges, and I think we should talk about it and have some realistic expectations on what happens. So keep on watching, and I hope you enjoy the video. Over the last few years, the 10mm pistol has become very popular for bear protection. Before that, the 44 Magnum revolver was the most popular. In the last year or so, there's been a lot of bear charges that people have used a 10mm automatic pistol. And I wanted to do a comparison between the two, 10mm and 44 mag, about what actually happens during a bear charge. Number one, does it stop the charge? That is the most important thing when you're being charged by a bear. Will the gun stop the charge? Doesn't have to kill it, but it does have to stop it, or makes the bear divert its path and running and keeps you from being mauled. Does the person shoot themselves? That happens. Then I broke how much the bear injures the person from slightly to significant to major. Then also how many shots are needed. Revolver has 6, so if it's equal to or less than 6, or is it more than 6? I used documented bear attacks from the various news websites. I didn't rely on anyone else's information or data. As an example, this one bear attack here happened on September 6, 2024. I got the information from eastidahonews.com. Talk about these two younger guys who had to deal with a bear charge. And going through my list of information, if you read the story here, when they initially saw the bear, the one young guy was able to shoot the bear 4 times with his 10mm handgun. The first shot was in the side of the bear. Then the bear came after that person. He shot 3 more times in the bullets in the face and the shoulder region before its iron jaws clamped on his arm. So he shot the bear 4 times with a 10mm and didn't stop the bear, and the bear gripped his arm. Reading rest of the story, his friend had to come and actually killed the bear with a .45 auto, but he shot the bear multiple times in the spine, and that killed the bear. So to me, in that case, the 10mm did not stop the charge, even though the bear was shot 4 times with it before the bear touched anyone. Following the story, the person did not shoot himself. Going through the how damaged he was, I classified this as a major injury. He was out of the hospital after 1 or 2 nights, but he's going to have a couple months recovery before he could get use of his arm. Here are the results that I came up with. These are approximate, incomplete data. If I had more data, some of these are borderline on the injuries. If you look at it, The 10 millimeter, in my judgment, stopped the charge 62% of the time. 44 mag stopped the bear charge 83% of the time. The next point here, does a person shoot themselves? Well, every incident of a person shooting themselves, it states they use a 10 millimeter. And it looks like persons using a 10 millimeter for bear defense, they accidentally shoot themselves 25% of the time. 44 mag revolver, there's never been a case of that I could find in the last several years. For injuries, I broke this up into slightly injured persons, significant, and major. The big difference between the 44 mag and the 10 millimeter is that the 10 millimeter, about 25% of the time, there are major injuries. The 44 mag, I did not come across any cases in the last several years that the person had major injuries. They have some significant injuries, but not major injuries. And that's, to me, if they spend one day or more in a hospital. Shots needed. A lot of people say that a 10 millimeter is better because it has more ammunition, more shots. And 83% of the time, equal to or less than 6 shots are needed for the 44 Magnum. Only 25% of the time for the 10 millimeter, needing more than 6 shots. 75% of the time, the 10 millimeter needs more than 6. The 44 mag, there's a couple cases there. They're sort of borderline that they had to reload their handgun, or they needed another firearm. Takeaways from this: 44 mag will stop a bear charge about 20% more than a 10 millimeter. If you use a 10 millimeter, you have about a 50% chance of getting significant or major injuries from the bear attack, let alone if you accidentally shoot yourself, which happens about 25% of the time. I'm sure that there'll be some people out there not liking this list. They'll question it. That's fine. It's my list. If they want to come up with their own list, if they're honest with themselves, they'll probably come up with somewhat similar results. A few important rules while in bear country using with a firearm. Number 1 is be bear aware. If you have any bear knowledge, read up on their habitat and where they're most likely to be, what happens when they charge. That's very important. Also, have a gun and know how to use it. A lot of people that buy a gun think they're safe. They don't practice enough with it. The gun you should be carrying should be the most powerful gun that you can get several shots off reasonably fast. If that's a 10 millimeter, then carry a 10 millimeter. But just remember that according to the results that I came up with, you're definitely putting yourself more at risk with a 10 millimeter than a 44 Magnum. This is not a theoretical exercise for me. I am living in Alaska now going over 40 years. I've had bear standoffs. I've never had to shoot one in defense. I've gotten a couple hunting. My friends have shot some bears in self-defense with handguns. Whenever I go camping, hiking, up to my remote cabin, I'm always ready to deal with bears. That's all that I have for today, everyone. Hey, stay safe and have a nice day.